Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is WireDogSec back with another video for you guys. We are in TryHackMe. This is Cybersecurity 101. This is the Defensive Security Tooling module, and this is the FlareVM Arsenal of Tools room. Learn the arsenal of investigative tools in FlareVM. Hopefully y'all are having an awesome day today and ready to learn. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Task 1, Introduction. FlareVM, or Forensics Log Analysis and Reverse Engineering, stands out as a comprehensive and carefully curated collection of specialized tools uniquely designed to meet the specific needs of reverse engineers, malware analysts, incident responders, forensic investigators, and penetration testers. This toolkit, expertly crafted by the Flare team at FireEye, is a powerful aid in unraveling digital mysteries, gaining insight into malware behavior, and delving into the complex details within executables. Learning objectives: explore tools inside the Flare VM, learn how to use tools to analyze potentially malicious processes effectively, be familiar with the tools used for static analysis of malicious documents and binaries. Room prerequisites says that this room expects that you are familiar with various technical terms related to Windows and processes. If you aren't familiar with these terms, please consider joining the pre-security path. VM access, it says getting your hands on this tool can be pretty daunting at first, as building it starting from scratch takes a lot of time, and the installation will take several hours. Thankfully, we've already included this machine in this room, so click the Start Machine button and fire it up. And then you can connect to it via RDP or some other mechanism here by using these credentials here, and also the IP address. I'm just going to use the split screen, as you can see there. Since almost all files we'll use in this room are located in C Users Administrator Desktop Sample Folder. A disclaimer: the FlareVM machine attached to this room contains malicious sample files as part of the practical exercises and has no internet access. These files should not be downloaded, executed outside the FlareVM machine, or distributed under any circumstances. Doing so could potentially harm your system or network. Always handle such files only in isolated, controlled, and secure environments. Good to note. So complete task number 2, Arsenal of Tools. In this task, we'll introduce you to tools inside FlareVM. It has many specialized forensics, incident response, and malware investigation tools. Below are the tools grouped by the category. So we have reverse engineering and debugging. Reverse engineering is like solving a puzzle backward. You take a finished product apart to understand how it works. Debugging is identifying errors, understanding why they happen, and correcting the code to prevent them. They list off some tools here that can be used for these. So you got Ghidra, NSA developed open source reverse engineering suite, x64 debug, Ollie debug, Radware or Radare 2, Binary Ninja, and PID. Disassemblers and decompilers. It says they are crucial tools in malware analysis. They help analysts understand malicious software behavior, logic, and control flow by breaking into a more understandable format. The tools mentioned below are commonly used in this category. So you have CFF Explorer, Hopper Disassembler, and RetDeck. Static and dynamic analysis says are two crucial methods in cybersecurity for examining malware. Static analysis involves inspecting the code without executing it, while dynamic analysis involves observing its behavior as it runs. The tools mentioned below are commonly used in this category. So you have Process Hacker, PEView, Dependency Walker, and DIE. Detect Easy. Forensic and incident response. It says digital forensics involves the collection, analysis, and preservation of digital evidence from various sources like computers, networks, and storage devices. At the same time, incident response focuses on the detection, containment, eradication, and recovery from cyber attacks. The tools mentioned below are commonly used in this category. So you have volatility, recall, and FTK imager. Network analysis says it includes different methods and techniques for studying and analyzing networks to uncover patterns, optimize performance, and understand the underlying structure and behavior of the networks. You have Wireshark, Nmap, and Netcat there. File analysis says is a technique used to examine files for potential security threats and ensure proper file permissions. You have File Insight, Hex Fiend, and HXD. Scripting and automation says involves using scripts such as PowerShell and Python to automate repetitive tasks and processes, making them more efficient and less prone to human error. So you have Python and PowerShell Empire. Sysinternal Suite says is a collection of advanced system utilities designed to help IT professionals and developers manage, troubleshoot, and diagnose Windows systems. You have auto runs, Process Explorer, Process Monitor. Have you checked all the categories? There are a lot, right? Worry not, as we won't tackle all these tools right now. It could take months to finish. We want to present you with the concept of having a single box filled with tools for different purposes, giving you an idea of what could work best for the specific task. In the next task, we will discuss the standard tools for investigation. All right, so we have some questions here. So pause the video, try to answer the questions, then come back to the video once you're done. All right, let's take a look here. Which tool is an open source debugger for binaries in 64 x32 format? So let's go back up here. We're talking about debuggers and such. All right, so this like it's going to be x64 debug for that one. So let's go ahead and plug that one in here. What tool is designed to analyze and edit portable executable files? Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Once you subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, so you know every time I post a new video. As you can see here, most people that view my videos, view my channel, are not subscribed. Now, if you do subscribe, it will help me get into the YouTube algorithm so that we can continue to grow our glorious community here. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch. Have a nice day and enjoy the video. CFF Explorer appears to be what we are needing for that one, so let's go ahead and plug it in here. Next one says, which tool is considered a sophisticated memory editor and process watcher? So let's go back up here and see if we can find that. All right, let's see here. Looks like Process Hacker is what we are needing there. Okay, and then the next question says, which tool is used for disk image acquisition and forensics use? Well, I know that. That's going to be FTK Imager. What tool can be used to view and edit a binary file? And that was the HXD editor here, so should be what we are looking here. Task number 3, commonly used tools for investigation overview. Let's examine the tools we will focus on in this room. These tools are the basic ones used for initial investigation. See below. So we have tool over here in investigative value. Procmon, a helpful tool for tracking system activity, especially regarding malware research, troubleshooting, and forensic investigation. Process Explorer allows you to see the process of the parent-child relationship. DLLs loaded in its path. HXD malicious files can be examined or altered via hex editing. They're talking about Wireshark, CFF Explorer, P Studio, and Floss. So be sure to read through all of this here. You can follow along and open the tools and files on FlareVM while we discuss the overview of some of these tools. All right, first one up is Process Monitor, or Procmon for short. So it's a powerful Windows tool designed to help you record issues with your system's apps. Let's you see, record and keep track of system and Windows file activity in real time. Process Monitor is helpful for tracking system activity, especially regarding malware research, troubleshooting, and forensic investigations. It keeps real-time tabs on the file system, registry, and thread/process activity. Here's how to use it effectively for an investigation. Here's a screenshot of what they're talking about here. Okay, if we want to fire that up, we have Procmon there, so double click that. It says, according to this log entry, the Local Security Authority Subsystem Service, or LSAS, related process, lsas.exe, has successfully read a file. LSAS handles authentication and frequently communicates with crucial system files such as LSA SRV.dll, Local Security Authority Service, or Server Service. Although this is a standard system process, LSAS may be the target of credential dumping attacks if you are examining logs for indicators of malicious activity. Mimikatz and other tools frequently try to access LSAS memory. In these situations, you would watch for any additional suspicious activity related to LSAS, such as odd access patterns or processes reading or writing to lsas.exe. Don't worry, the sample above does not show any malware signs. Okay, Process Explorer, which is ProcXP. Process Explorer offers in-depth insights into active processes running on your computer. It allows you to delve into the inner workings of your system, providing a comprehensive list of currently running processes and their linked user accounts. If you've ever been curious about which program is accessing a specific file or folder, Process Explorer can provide us with that information. All right, so we're going to exit out of Procmon here, and there's um, Process Explorer right here, and it's open way over here for some reason. Okay, it's gonna look something like this, and then it says, as you can see from the image above, the CFF Explorer app is open. Using Process Explorer located at the desktop, we identified the process in its parent process. This is usually pretty useful when we want to monitor what other processes are being spawned, such as from a Word document, an LNK file, or even an ISO file, as threat actors typically abuse these. See that here, like on this where it says process here, you can see like a tree-like thing here. Looks similar to what you see in like Task Manager and such. HXD says is a quick and flexible hex editor for editing files, memory, and drives of any capacity. It can be applied to forensic investigation, data recovery, debugging, and exact manipulation of binary data. Important features include viewing file and memory contents, editing, searching, and comparing hex data. Let's look at how the tool works. So let's X out of this here. HXD, fire that up. So they're looking at this particular file here, medusa.txt here. Okay. So if we had a file loaded up in here, we would see information on the side there. Says the HXD hex editor snapshot shows the binary file possible underscore medusa.txt. The hex data on the left indicates the file's contents in hexadecimal, and the ASCII interpretation appears on the right. Interestingly, the file starts with 4D58, little endian, indicating it is an executable. The data inspector on the right allows you to examine individual bytes by displaying their values in many data types. Examples would be integer, float, facilitating a more straightforward data evaluation. By permitting in-depth examination of a file's unprocessed hexadecimal data, HXD facilitates inquiry by identifying file kinds, structures, and possible corruption. Its data inspector feature helps by offering insights into particular byte values. And we have CFF Explorer next. And let's go ahead and find that one right here. It looks like a pepper. With the help of CFF Explorer's comprehensive file information, investigators can generate file hashes for integrity verification, authenticate the source of system files, and validate their validity. Examples by looking for unusual alterations. This is important to know when analyzing malware, since dangerous code can be hidden in alternate um, system files. Sorry, in altered system files. So if we had something in here, it would look like this, right? All right, it's pretty straightforward. The cryptominer.bin files details are displayed in the sample on September 23rd, 2024. A 64-bit portable executable file was generated. The file's information can be verified by its hashes, so there's SHA-1 and MD5. During investigation, this tool aids in confirming file information lookup and locating possible patterns. All right, and we can see all the information here on the side here. So we have the date and time here, created, modified, accessed, MD5 hash, SHA-1 hash there. Wireshark. Regarding network traffic analysis, Wireshark is a powerful tool that investigators may use to hunt down dubious connections, examine protocols, and spot possible assaults or data exfiltration. In the case, TLS V1.2 suggests a secure encrypted connection that can mask harmful activity and safeguard legitimate traffic. So Wireshark looks something like this, all right? And if you want to fire it up, Wireshark right there, and you just load in your PCAP file, you'll see some stuff like this. Or you can have Wireshark listening for traffic. This shows captured packets with the details about the protocol, source, destination, and other information. Most packets show that TLS version 1.2 and TCP are being used for encrypted transmissions. The raw packet data is shown in ASCII in hexadecimal formats or forms with a significant chunk encrypted using TLS v1.2. You can check out our Wireshark module here if you would like to dig deeper into this tool. You can also look around on my channel. I have videos covering Wireshark. We have PE Studio next. Okay, so there's Wireshark there. If we had a file a PCAP file. We put it in here and take a look at that information there. And then PE Studio right there. So static analysis or studying executable file properties without running files is done with PE Studio. This feature is beneficial in several situations. PE Studio offers a variety of information about a file without putting users in danger of execution, which aids in identifying executables that seem suspect or harmful. So how does it work? Let's take a look at the image below. It gives you all kinds of information here. Okay. So this example shows the examination of an executable file, psexec.exe, not in the VM. This is purely an example. Use P Studio 9.22, a static malware analysis tool. The file has a dual purpose, legitimate for system administrators, but potentially exploited by hackers for remote access. Says the file's entropy value of 6.596 indicates a remote chance of hacking or encryption, which is typical of dangerous software. Version 2.34 of this 32-bit console-based application allows it to run programs remotely, a feature frequently used to migrate laterally during attacks. The file is assembled using the Visual C++8, so we can see all the information over here on the side, what they're talking about here, right? If it's not here, then you got to click around over here and it'll give you different information of what's going on. All right, let's see here. The dual use nature of PSExec, typically legitimate but suspicious in compromised environments, combined with low to medium indicators and moderately high entropy, makes its presence on a system concerning, especially if remote code execution is not expected. Its use in post-exploitation phases warrants further investigation to determine if it's being misused maliciously. And we have flaws. Using advanced static analysis techniques, the Flare obfuscated string solver, FLOSS, formerly FireEye Labs obfuscated string solver, automatically extracts and deobfuscates all strings from malware programs like strings.exe. It can enhance the basic static analysis of unknown binaries. FLOSS also includes more Python scripts in its scripts directory, which can be used to load the scripts outputs into programs like IDA Pro or Binary Ninja. So if we want to run FLOSS, it will look something like this for the output. Okay, and it looks like you have to run this via the command line. View results. So this will be the output here. The rest of the output, I guess. All right, that's a lot of information to take into consideration here. Let's go ahead and drop this down or collapse that. In the example above, Floss extracted 189 static strings from the binary, which may contain hard-coded information such as paths, URLs, likely for command and control servers, IP addresses, API calls, etc., etc., etc. However, no decoded strings were identified, suggesting that Floss did not detect or decode dynamically generated or obfuscated strings during the analysis. Malware frequently uses obfuscated strings to conceal its malicious behavior. All right, it looks like we have quite a few questions here, so go ahead and pause the video, answer these questions, then come back to the video and we will continue on. Which tool was formerly known as Flare Obfuscated String Solver? Well, that's going to be Floss, as we just read about. Which tool offers in-depth insights into the active processes running on your computer? Well, that's going to be Process Explorer or Process XP, which is this here. By using the Process Explorer tool, under which process can we find SMSS.exe? So let's go ahead and take a look here. All right. And which process would that be under? So let's take a look. There it is at the top. And it looks like that is under system. So that should be our answer here. And which powerful tool or powerful Windows tool is designed to help you record issues with your system's apps? That's going to be Procmon. Which tool can be used for static analysis for studying executable file properties without running the files? That's going to be PE Studio. And it says using PE Studio, so let's go ahead and fire it up. It says in the desktop sample folder, we're going to grab this cryptominer.bin file. All right, so we're already in here, and there's cryptominer.bin, open. Okay, let's make this bigger. And it says, what is the SHA-256 hash of the file? And if we're looking in here, let's go ahead and try to find that information. Here it is at the top. And let's see if we can just copy this out of here. copy values. Let's try that. Awesome. Using the tool P Studio to open the cryptominer.bin file, how many functions does it have? Functions, we have 102, as you can see right there. So let's go ahead and type that in there. And it says what tool can generate file hashes for integrity verification, authenticate the source of system files, and validate their validity. That's going to be CFF Explorer. And then we're going to use that tool. So let's go ahead and fire it up. So use CFF Explorer to open up this possible underscore medusa.txt file. All right, let's see here. There we go. Open. This is what is the MD5 hash of the file. And we see it's this here. So let's see if we can just copy this out. All right, I'm gonna hit Control C and then see if I can paste it with Control V. There we go. Use the CFF Explorer tool to open the, all right, we're already in this file. And then go to DOS header section, okay? DOS headers, there it is. What is the E underscore magic value? So that's going to be this here, this 5 A4D. So let's go ahead and do Control C and Control V again. And that should be it for this task. Task number 4, analyzing malicious files. In this task, we'll get our hands dirty. Let's dive right in. Using the tools from our FlareVM, we will analyze different executables, run them, and see what it does on a specific machine. A suspicious Windows.exe file was downloaded by a user on 9/24/2024 at 3:45 a.m. This download was flagged as a potential threat. The monitoring team has sent you an email requesting to perform an analysis on it. They have sent you the file, which is now in C Users Administrator Desktop Sample folder, right there. Okay, we saw these files earlier, right? It says our initial approach for this investigation is to perform static analysis to get initial information from the binary. So let's go ahead and close out of all this here. All right. We'll be using P Studio, so let's go ahead and fire it up, and then we're going to open the file up inside of P Studio. So there it is. Okay, now let's make this bigger. All right, so we have similar output here. For the computed MD5 hash and SHA-1 hashes, comparisons will establish with established databases like VirusTotal are recommended. If there are no known detections, there's a greater chance that it's a fresh or undiscovered malware campaign. Although the file claims to be connected to the Windows registry editor, regedit, um, which you can see based on the description, this is likely an attempt to trick people and evade discovery. So we can see that here. So they try to fool us using this information there. It says legitimate regedit tools are usually found in C Windows System 32 directory rather than the user's download location. What else? So the comments look funky. It looks like it's in Russian or something like that. And they're taking a look at version information here, rich header stuff here. Right. So let's go ahead and continue on here. Registry editor. In the file's metadata is suspicious primarily if the user or organization does not operate in a Russian speaking environment. This could potentially have profound implications for our organization. Okay. And let's see. The absence of a rich header indicates that the file is potentially packed or obfuscated to avoid detection by static analysis tools. This is typical behavior of sophisticated malware that tries to evade detection by altering critical sections of the P file. All right. And they're talking about here. See how it's nothing. There's nothing there. Okay. So the functions tab list API call. So if we click on that, it says the file was imported. This is also known as the IAT import address table. By clicking on the blacklist tab, Studio will sort the API by moving all the blacklisted functions to the top. This is useful because it enables us to understand how malware may behave once it compromises the host. The image below shows the API has been imported. Okay. All right. So if we go ahead and sort this by blacklist here, there we go. All right. And they have a few others here they highlighted. All right. Here are the important functions that we noted. Set, use, shell, execute. This function allows the process to use the operating system's shell to execute other processes. This is often seen in malware that spawns additional processes to carry out malicious actions. They also mention crypto stream, wherever this is managed, cipher mode, create decryptor. These APIs indicate that the executable uses cryptographic functions, specifically Original, or however you pronounce that, AES encryption. Malware may use cryptography to encrypt communication and files, or even implement ransomware functionality. And it says analyzing or analysis using floss. Open PowerShell and go to the directory where our file is, which is this directory here. Note that it may take a while before the PowerShell prompt appears. Run the command floss.exe. This will run the floss tool and output it to a file name, windows.txt, in the same directory. All right, so I'm going to minimize this and then fire up PowerShell here. Okay, so it may take a minute to fire up. But ultimately, we're going to see something like this here, and then inside that text file is going to be our outputs. And then inside of here, those are the results that we saw earlier. Okay, aren't these familiar? These are the functions that we saw earlier using PE Studio tool. And this is an analyze the process, or analyze the process explorer and process monitor. In this example, we will analyze the network connectivity of the file cobaltstrike.exe located in the sample folder. Okay, and this is taking a while to start up. There we go, finally. So if we go ahead and navigate to that area, so I'm gonna scroll back up a little bit. So we're gonna navigate here. Okay, so CD. All right, if we do an ls, we can see what we're looking for there. So let's go ahead and do floss, Control C. There we go. So it's running, and rendering results. Okay, so if we do, I think it's type for Windows boxes, so type, and then the name of that file here. We can see everything in there. Right, so you can open up Notepad, you can just do it this way. Right, you guys get the gist of it. So if you want to go back in there, in that sample folder, so it's on desktop, sample, and there it is. So you can open it up inside of Notepad. This is running a little bit slow. So it's something like Notepad++, or just regular Notepad, right? So there you go there. And let's close out of this here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this other area here with Process Explorer and Process Monitor. So let's go ahead and minimize this here. All right, so it says we will try to figure out if the file is making any network connectivity to any possible C2 servers. Let's get started. Run the Cobalt Strike.exe and open Process Explorer on the desktop or from the taskbar. You can also search for it in the Windows search bar if you manually click the binary Explorer.exe. Will be the parent process, and Cobalt Strike.exe would be the child process. Let's see if that's indeed the case. Okay, so we need to start up Process Explorer. Okay, it's fired up. And if we go back to our samples and fire up that Cobalt Strike.exe, we should see it show up in here somewhere. Okay. And let's cruise through this a little bit and see if we find it. There it is. And it's under Explorer.exe, so we can see it down there. All right, good. It is, as you can see from the screenshot above. Remember, this information is crucial, but let's focus on our goal to determine whether this process is making network connections and to what destination and process ID 4756. Note that the process ID might differ in your machine. Right click on the process, select properties, and go to TCP/IP tab. We should be able to determine the destination it connects to and the state it sends. All right, so let's see if we can locate that here. Okay, let's see here. So we need to right click it. Okay, and then we need to select properties and then TCP/IP, which is this up here. There we go. Now we have that information right there. All right, so we're good to go here. There we have it. On another note, when we are doing analysis, it needs to be verified and precise. Therefore, we won't be relying on a single tool. We will use another tool to determine if the information is correct, stop the process, and rerun it. This time we'll use procmon or process monitor. This is also located on the desktop in the taskbar. When we open procmon, looking for the binary, it's challenging as it will list all the active processes. What we are going to do is filter it. The image below points to the filter icon, or you can press Control L. All right, so let's get out of all of this here. X, all this stuff here, and then let's go to the procmon, fire it up. Okay, and then we need to relaunch this tool here, or the malware, so sample, and there it is, Cobalt Strike. Okay, go back to this here, and well, the filter's already open, so let's type in process name. Okay, and it contains, all right, then Cobalt. All right, so we have everything here. I need to click add, and then click on apply, and then we should be good. Okay, this should give us a more detailed result. There it is, looking good. So we should see something like this here. All right, while it's running, and that's exactly what we're seeing. This confirms that the binary was indeed making a connection to an unknown IP address, which is this here. All right, so question time. Once again, pause the video, go through and try to answer these questions yourself, then come back to the video. Let's take a look here. Using PStudio, open the file windows.exe. What is the entropy value of the file windows.exe? So we're already in here, and it's going to be 7.999. So 7.999. Using PStudio, the file windows.exe, go to the manifest, okay, which is down here. And what is the value of requested execution level? So let's get this out of the way. And let's take a look. Requested execution level equals require administrator. So I'm assuming that's what they are needing here. So let's go ahead and Control C, then Control V to paste it in here. Which function allows the process to use the operating system shell to execute other processes? Let's take a look here and try to figure that out. So if we go to functions here, let's see. Whoops, let's try this again. So it should be this one here. Let's see if I can copy function name. Okay. Which API starts with R and indicates that the executable uses cryptographic functions? So let's take a look here. All right, it must be this one here, I'm assuming. So let's go ahead and copy that. All right, it's not that one. Well, let's go ahead and rearrange this. And let's take a look. It went too far. So it starts with an R. An executable uses cryptographic functions. So it must be this one then. What is the imp hash of Cobalt Strike.exe? So let's go ahead and close out of PStudio and then relaunch it, and then we'll load up this Cobalt Strike. Okay, put this in here, make it bigger, and then we're looking for the IMP hash, which is going to be this here. So copy and paste. What is the defanged IP address to which the processor Cobalt Strike.exe is connecting to? So if we go back and take a look at, what was it? I think it was Procmon. Yeah. Take a look at Procmon here, and we saw the IP was this 47 IP here, so let's go ahead and copy and paste this over. So they want us to defang it as well, so we're gonna have to put in these open and closed square brackets here, like so. Okay. What is the destination port number used by Strike.exe when connecting to its C2 IP address? We are going to need to open up WireShark, so go to File, and we're going to go to Open, and open up the PCAP here, and we need to figure out where the C2 is, so we should, you could put a filter in here. So what is it, IP something? All right, it's already in here for us, nice. So it's that, and then we will check it out. And the port number, it looks like 81. Yep, 81 is going to be our answer here. It says during our analysis, we found a process called CobaltStrike.exe. What is the parent process? All right, so once again, let's close out of all this stuff here. And we need to open up Process Explorer. It's going to be Explorer.exe as we saw earlier. But if you want to fire that off, we can fire off Cobalt Strike again. Okay, and then go back here. And then there it is underneath there. So Explorer.exe, that's what we need here. Okay, so we should be done with that. And then let's wrap it up with conclusion. Task number 5. In this room, we introduced the FlareVM, or Forensics Logic Analysis and Reverse Engineering, a complete and customized environment designed for incident response, malware reverse engineering, and forensic analysis. We reviewed the installed tools and categorized them based on their purpose. We then discussed some standard tools widely used during an investigation, such as PStudio, CFF Explorer, etc., etc., etc. Lastly, we acquired hands-on experience in analyzing malicious programs or files using these tools. So we are done. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this particular video, this room here. And check the description box. I'll have additional links for y'all to check out. I recommend checking out the Practical Malware Analysis of Triage course provided by TCM Security if you're interested in reverse engineering malware, malware analysis, anything in that space. So check the description box. As always, thank you all for taking time to watch the video. Have a nice day, and I will see you later. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.